Good afternoon from the Brazil Association of Cataract and Refractive Surgery. We're pleased to be here today with Dr. Bruno Trindade from Belo Horizonte, Brazil. Thanks very much for being with us, Bruno.
Well, thanks for having me.
Bruno, we've spoken on this program about a unique implant called the pinhole implant, which can help patients with irregular corneal astigmatism. And I understand that you have a very interesting case of the pinhole implant that you've presented. Can you share that with us, please?
Sure. So we've been working on this project that was introduced by Claudio Trindade, my brother, and we've recently published our initial series of patients with irregular corneal astigmatism, for which we use this pinhole device that was designed to be implanted in the ciliary sulcus of pseudophakic eyes to minimize the impact of corneal irregularities. So following up on those patients, and based on the good results that we got initially, we're now expanding expanding the applications of this specific device. So we recently had a case, and this case we are presenting in this meeting, for which we use this device as a complement to address a very difficult case in which the patient had a previous penetrating keratoplasty done many years ago that's now failing with a terrible dense cataract. And under those circumstances, the obvious approach would be to replace the cornea with another full thickness graft and address the cataract at the same time. However, based on our initial results with this pinhole implant, we decided to manage this case in a different way. So we decided to address the cataract at first, using the pinhole implant to neutralize the corneal irregularities that obviously those old penetrating grafts usually present with. And then on the same surgery, we addressed the corneal failure with a selective DMAC graft. So we believe that this approach enabled the patient with a much faster visual rehabilitation in a probably much safer surgery with no open sky time of surgery. Yeah.
So I'm curious, Bruno, this is a really terrific presentation of an application of this technology, and I like how you thought through the avoidance of the open sky technique in providing an endothelial graft for the failed full thickness cornea with the pinhole implant. And I'm curious, let's say down the line the graft does not, in this case, the graft either does not recover or it fails again, and you're faced with the possibility of repeating the entire penetrating keratoplasty. At that point, would you still keep that pinhole implant in position, or would you remove it given that you're now providing a completely new cornea?
That's a good question. And I believe that the usefulness of this technique, it's the ability of reversing it at whichever moment you decide to. However, in these circumstances, in case any further penetrating keratoplasty needs to be done in the future, I believe the presence of the pinhole implant will actually further improve the outcome of that surgery, minimizing the effect of some irregularities that are left after the next procedure.
And we didn't talk about this before, but I'm curious, in terms of the IOL implant itself, the pinhole implant itself, is this a foldable implant such that you can place it through a small incision, such as the same incision you might use with the cataract or the endothelial transplant?
Yeah, sure. This implant is made of a black hydrophobic foldable acrylic, and it is very thin, and it can definitely be folded and injected using pretty much any cartridge available in the market today. And we've tested this implant with many different variants of cartridges, and it works well with all of them. So definitely can be implanted into a very small incision. We usually use 2.2 millimeter incisions, and it goes through perfectly well.
Well, Bruno, this has been a fantastic summary for us of a great case presentation where a very complex eye required a complex approach, and you found great usefulness for the pinhole implant. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise today.
Thank you for having me. Thanks, John.